Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. Got something nice for you this morning. I'm back in the book. Got my little rant on, got a few lessons out, so I can get back to the book and get my lesson going. Let's do what we do. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, the message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tuning in receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where we're going? Let's keep going. I asked the question, do you know yourself? Do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. So a person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And as always, to my yacht, be true. I'm back in the book. We were talking about getting past the first ring of the tree of life, the first ring. And the concept is the order to right thinkers. Let's talk about how to control or and appease Set and Nebthet. They're the first two on the ring of the tree of life coming up from Harut. You have to master Set, ego, Nebthet, mortality. Understand and who, understand your limitations. Understand you are a physical being, but you are a spiritual being having a human experience. So you got to deal with the physical world, and the goal is to master each level of yourself. Let's go. Let's talk about it. So excuse me, you must know how to what control and to what appease Set. And the same goes with Nebthet. They're a pair, okay, of other deities. Now, the deity that transcends time and space is not to be worshipped with time and space objects. We went over that before about how you worship your deity. So you don't go burning incense for the supreme transcendental, timeless, formless being, aka God. You can do that when you're worshiping Shu, Tefnut, yeah, those are elements, okay? That's what you do it for. But now you are to worship the divinity, excuse me, that divinity, how? With things that are timeless, formless, undifferentiated, transcendental. And what are these things? Yeah, tell us. Number one, numero uno, meditation. That's the silent conversation that you have from within yourself with your inner or higher self. That's a part that a lot of religious concepts push it out the way. No, that's how you get to God. They want you to think that God is in the church. No, you go to church. The fellowship is a place that you do that for and worship. I understand that. So I'm not beat for that. But don't tell me God is in there. No, God is in me. Sorry. No chanting. Again, verbal contact, no. Chanting is in time and space, and it has vibration, and it has sound, and it has concept. Excuse me. Remember, for the next level, for this level of worship, we are going beyond the realm of generated things, meaning the physical world. We get into the next level, but until you are ready, conceptually, mentally, for the next level, you must continue, excuse me, to practice the ritual of what? Daily offerings of what? Your lower in due time, that will lead you to what? Your higher forms of worship of the transcendental forms. You're going to work your way up. Right now, we're getting through set and Nebthet of your personality, your ego, and your mortality. Let me give you a quick example of what the higher, now we get into the higher, requires. Higher practice requires, first of all, again, meditation at the higher level. The transcendental worship level implies leading yourself to a place that transcends consciousness of time and space. When we're doing what we like to do, time don't mean nothing. That's what I say. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, when you are enjoying what you're doing, you ain't concerned with time. It seems to fly. Yeah, but if you ain't having a good time, if things ain't going the way you like, time just drags on. Time don't change. It's just the mindset that you're in, one way or another. Understand that. And that's, again, self-mastery, realizing everything in time. You can't speed it up. You can't slow it down. Deal with it. Master it, so to speak. Roll with the flow. Like Bruce said, be water, be fluid. Just go. Acquiesce. I call it acquiescing to the situation, whatever it is. Just go with the flow. Okay? Keep it funky. Stay real. Now, remember, at this level, worship goes beyond the realm of generated things, which will lead you to higher. Okay, let me. We doing an example. Excuse me. We're now here now, and for example, where we at? Meditation is that sense. Is the answer. Excuse me. Go back. Meditation at the higher level, the transcendental worship level, and it implies which leading you to what? That place that transcends consciousness of time and space. And meditation in that sense is the answer. See, there's an answer to the question. All you got to do is implement it. The Kemetic sage Amon said that the supreme divinity is to be worshipped how? Ready? With silence. It makes sense. Why? Because in the Bible, y'all said, God said what? Steal yourself. Why? And know that I am God. That means stop what you're doing. Give me your undivided, and we can have a conversation. Meditation does that. Get excited. Why? That's what I do. That's how it's done. You're not going to find God out in the world. You're not going to find God through a whole bunch of nonsense. But if you shut it down and you go into yourself, where the kingdom of God, kingdom of heaven is within you, you go there and find that for yourself. My goal is to get you to do that on your own by daily practice, and it will happen. Silence with nothingness. How could you do that? That's very hard to do. Why? If you have not appeased the other divinities, the divinities of the realm of generation, meaning the physical realm, they are coursing through your entire personality. Again, this is part of you as a person, your personality and your mind as we speak. What happened? It will be hard to offer higher practice. Why? They must come to a peace, aka Hotep, spelled H-E-T-E-P, my favorite way. And they do that by what? Learning about them. Who is them? Mastering what? Their principles of who? Your ego self. You have to conquer that ego and thereby what? Purifying them within yourself. This is purifying your lower nature, getting control of the ego self. Your desires, your egoistic concepts. You want to have control over them so they don't control you. That's the main part. And understanding life, meaning you know you're going to die. Being scared to die, I got a lesson coming. Why? If you know you, if you do the things you need to do, death ain't in the equation. Death is for religious people who scared. Okay, who do this or you're going to go to hell. Oh, don't realize they're already in hell. Moving on. Your idea is to raise up out of here. And if you continue to like it here, you can come back over and over again. It don't care. Moving on. That's the generated concept. The goal for right thinkers to know thyself so we can go that way. Realize, understand this. Well, when you purify yourself, you're gaining control over your whole self. And you realize that if you master the divinity, these personal aspects of your personality, you learn about them. Okay, study, learn about them. You become what? Wise about them. And automatically, what happens? Now, this is when the transformation comes. Your lower consciousness about yourself is now reduced. What do you mean? He's starting to give in. He can't fight no more. He ain't winning. So everything ain't going his way. So he's going to give in and acquiesce and wait to do what he do when you summon him. You have him on speed dial, so to speak. Trust me. Now, if you learn about Aset, next one coming up in Asar, you're going to learn about your spirit, eternal soul, and you're going to learn about intuition or wisdom about life and eternity. How about that? That's the next level. But in order to get there, like the second degree, you got to show proficiency in the first degree, mastering who? Set your ego, Nebthet, your mortality. Understand that? So let's go. So if you learn about Aset and Asar, those, again, aspects of your consciousness, which are intuitional, which wisdom represents Aset, and the soul, eternity, represents Asar. Do I know this or what? Are automatically what? Enhanced. And now you are automatically what? Discounting, and you're minimizing your egoism set, as well as your worldly desires, aka Nebthet. When you desire things of the world, that's Nebthet. That's mortality. And that's fine, but it should not drive you. It should not be the end all be all. So once you control your desires, your ego, and your worldly desires, who represents what? Ego consciousness and mortality, ego, set, mortality, Nebthet, respectively. But now, if you become wise by what? Mastering them, understanding, knowing them. I know that set can't reproduce. You should know that nature, which is mortality and ego, can't reproduce. So if you study them, you would know that that's how you master them. And you will realize that what? That you should be caring not just for moi. That's why you see Ahmed biting from the third row down on this chain, Mayat. Why? Because if you just on the third level, that means you know fight, flight, you know reproduction, and you know desires, you know egoism. So those are levels that you can live off for sure. But beastie too. That's what they made the first monument, the Sphinx, from beastie nature to consciousness. Man got the conscience to know himself. So we raised from our beastie nature, and I meant taking anything from 3 down. If you hasn't risen up to your heart consciousness, you're not worthy to go on. So what? You got to come back. Moving on. Quick lesson. But as you, watch this, as you care for all people, that's the heart chakra. I got mine, I got my cats. You realize that what? Now you are the very essence of all people. You care about something other than yourself. You need that to elevate your consciousness. This teachings, okay? This teaching of selfless service I'm giving right now. This is my way of giving back. I give to you this every day. I do this for you. So when you give us self-service, watch this. To who? Humanity. I don't dictate who tune in. I just dictate the content that I put here for those who tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. And that's humanity. And it is a primary theme of what? Mayat and right thinking philosophy, to give, to help others, but mainly be accountable for yourself, starting with you. Okay, I'll always start with the man in the mirror. I love that song by Mike. I ain't big a Mike fan, but that song, I'm 100% on board. Let's go. Let me wrap this up. I see the clock running. I got some more stuff here. I'm gonna get through all of it. I'm gonna get the best I could. Hope you're getting to understand it. That's my point. It should be clear and understanding. So I'm walking you up this tree of life right now, getting you to the first level. Let's go. Let's be clear on the definition of the egoism. There you go. I've been telling you that for the longest. From the perspective of this teaching, egoism is the idea, you ready? That you are an individual, and that you are an individual, what? You are not connected to others, to nature, to higher spirit. You're ignorant of all those things. Why? Because it's all about you. The ego could care less about God and anybody else. That's the point. When you are egoistic, you have edged God out of your equation, and you all about you. Sound like the devil. Yeah, hello, you created by being egoistic. going against opposition to God. Wherever you cut that pie, you can create the devil, and it's still going to be you. Egoism means seeing the world where from the perspective of a finite and mortal individual. Scared to death when death coming, Grim Reaper come right now. Time to go. Okay, no problem. I'm out. Got to go. Ah! Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Why? I'm good in my position. My house is in order. Is yours? Excuse me. But that's a personal question that every individual got to answer for themselves. So moving on. Your pleasures. Watch this. Your pleasure is the first and of foremost importance for egoistic people, and the welfare of others becomes secondary. So you need not care for them or about them. Again, that's the ego mindset. That's just devilish. Didn't your boy say, I don't care about y'all, I just need your vote? That's ego at its rarest form. Could care less about you. I just want what you can do for me. Those kind of people. Moving on. I ain't got time for that. But, or if what? You care about others, it is what? Because they mean something to you or can get something for you. Like the pleasures that you get from what? Being in a company. Girls, women, you like to be around in there to make you feel good. Again, stroking the ego. I told my daughter, sometimes you got to stroke the ego. Why? They don't have a clue, but all you have to do is make them feel good about you, what you think about them. So every now and then you got to stroke them. Understand that. I ain't with it. I don't like it, but I'll give advice about that because every now and then that's what you got to do. Okay? Trust me. Papa Smurf knows. The idea is that you relate what? You related to them. So through family ties, I got family members I don't speak to. I love them, but we ain't got to interact. We ain't got to act the fool. None of that. Moving on. Or something else, what you get from them. I tell you, in the user's mentality, Curtis Mayfield said it better. Only time they choose you is in some way that they can use you. And they're going to benefit from that point. And if those kind of people you surround yourself with, then you're going to be taking bits and pieces like they did to Egypt. Just take bits and pieces of it and just use you up. If you don't mind that, then it feels good to being used, then like my man said, my man, you wish you was in my shoes, but it feels good being used, use me up. If you're being used in a good manner, by all means, they call it relationship, marriage. All right, let's get there. Let me get out this way. So understand this. So the daily study and understanding of these opposites of the tree of life also represent the antidote to what? Most all problems of what? Of human egoistic complex. Anything that you have going on wrong, my philosophy can correct it. Why? Watch this. And the human complex. Okay. And it represents what? By their three lower divinities. And it includes Haru, which is the child here. Why? Because before he is matured and taught by Aset and Asar, Haru is in what? The state of, you ready? Unenlightenment. Means he's ignorant to himself, even him. Even born with the spirit, even born with the aspiration to be, he's still ignorant until what? He learns. There's life lessons, and this what we got to do. The tree of life is like your life lesson, walking through life. And what's this? He is unenlightened. He's the unenlightened human being. So he is not Haru-Ur. He's the king. He's not Haru-Ur, the king. Why? He is only the prince. That's why he wear the side lock on his head. You see him in rare form. He haven't got his falcon headgear yet. He's still a little boy. Okay, he's Haru Picard. He's just the heir. Okay, and he must what? You ready? Prove himself. Even the prince have to prove himself. Nobody gets a free ride. Back in the day, ass, grass, or cash. Ain't nobody getting a free ride. So in life, it's the same thing. You gotta give up something. Okay, prove yourself. Prove himself before what? Before he can take the throne. What throne? In life, you should be the king of you. That's the throne he's going to take. Why? Self-mastery gives you the crown, the halo. That's the throne you sit on as king. And this is also a problem for you. Why? He is you, okay, as you are. If you are not an enlightened being, you're unenlightened being. But he is the totality of what? All the other divinities. Why? Because he took the time to master them. Now he had them all. What the sister said, I got all my sisters in me. I got all my guides in me. That's what you want. Why? That's how you have self-mastery. So, but an ignorant state of mind must be what? He's the totality of the other divinity, but watch this. But in an ignorant state of mind, which most of us are, that must be cultivated and trained to what? To discover, and then it will what? Realize the deeper aspects of its life. This is all about you. Put the work in, you get results. Don't put the work in, you will fail. Simple as that. Until that training occurs, you ignorant. Haru is now, watch this. I just say you're ignorant. Until the training occurs, you are vulnerable, and so are you. Haru, which is your character, your ego, self, is vulnerable. Watch this. Why? To the shots of who? The ego. If they call it temptations, right here. You had the shots, you're vulnerable to the shots of what? The ego, which is what? Temptation, fears, lethargy, procrastination, as well as the traditional fetters that come with the soul: lust, jealousy, envy, greed, hatred, etc. Those are all lower nature qualities that you have to rise above and get better at. You don't start out good. That's understandable. Okay? Never did. I had to make the change. Why? That wasn't getting me nowhere. That's why. If what you're doing ain't progressing for you, ain't prospering for you, you doing the wrong thing. And if you progress from the prospering in the wrong manner, oh, you will be dealt with in another manner. But we talking about good people. I'm doing bad thing no more. Now, and really, watch this. Nebthet and Set. That is what? The notion of mortality and ego individuality, and they are the real problem. And if they are mastered and transcended, you are well on your way to what? Discovering the higher consciousness. That's what the levels are about. You're in the first degree right now. Moving on. I'm gonna stop the lesson. I got one more paragraph. I'm gonna sneak this one in for you right quick. This should be a good one here. I like this one. So right there. So now we are leaving aside what? The transcendental realm and its worship. Why? Because we will discuss it at a later time. I'll be back. But the special silence that encompasses all meditation time, for now we are talking about the worship of what? The divinities of time and space, which are who? Which, as we said, is the proper starting point. We perpetuate them by using them and time and space objects such as food and drink, incense, etc. And when the energy of their name is used, speaking in name, power, heka, words of power, used as a chant. Remember, these are the time and space divinities. No time and space. They need no chant. You just go straight to meditation and that's it. Okay? Oneness with the higher self. When you're dealing with the lower divinities, which we're dealing with Set and that, you can chant. It invokes what? The physical presence of that cosmic force. You should be comfortable with Set. Don't fear him, but don't let him run the show either. Okay, you got to keep him in check. He go wild. And one important item to keep in mind as you engage in this practice is that if you are impure, I use your boy Darth Vader as an example. He was taught the Force. He was aware about the bad side, the dark side. He chose the dark side. Understand that. He didn't happen. No. Willingly by choice. And whenever we make that decision, at the time we make it, we good with whatever come may. Until what? Whenever come may comes. Okay, moving on. But that's the concept. But they say if your heart ain't pure, if you're impure, you're going to use this strength, this power, this force for evil. Simple as that. But we got to build a mechanism for that too. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing with it. That ain't your concern. I live next to witches, real witches. They'll let you know, and yeah, they are. So I could care less what they do over there. Moving on. But if you are impure, as you are engaging in that invocation, that energy is what going to be tainted again, impure. It should be stainless, honest, pure, good, righteous, virtuous, all the good stuff. They said the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Yeah, but you going to hell anyway. Why? That was your intention to go to hell. So what you doing, you think was good, knowing it was bad the whole time. That's devilish. That's why you end up in hell. And what's this? Your use of that energy is going to be, therefore, also tainted or wrong. Simple as that. We already talked about the wisdom that the journey begins in, again, earnest. Sorry. When you elevate yourself to who? Aset. That's the wisdom and intuition. And Aset introduces you to who? Asar. And then Set and Nebthet begins to go become minimized. They're starting to drift away. Why? They no longer important. You done pass them by and they become minimized. Again, this level of spiritual practice is called striving. Masonic order, we call it the second degree, the winding stairs. Why? You're vigilant, you're on your guard, you're aware, you're climbing upward. So same concept. Again, I got all that stuff for you. And this is what Haru represents you as an aspirant. What? Going up the stairs in life. And his not and you're and his not enlightened state yet. You're just an aspirant in search of what? The truth, to know thyself. And as effective aspiration leads to what? Divine grace. Divine grace is what? The minimization of the negative aspects and the elevation of positive and the opening up of the mind to what? Philosophical wisdom, teachings of right thinking philosophy that you were not able to understand what? Before. If you're following with me now, understanding, you're starting to come clear to you. You're becoming a little bit better, a little bit wiser of what? Yourself, understanding who you are. That's my goal. That's my mission. And before, divine grace is also, when you're living right, people seem to look at you a little different. They view you a little different. They ain't really sure what's going on. But that's what God does for you. He make you shine from the inside out where other people start looking at you a little different. Trust me. Divine grace is also increased in inner peace. Again, happy with it. If you happy with you, and when you're doing that, your reduction of what? Entanglements. That means a bunch of unnecessary nonsense that you put on yourself, fetters we call them. Okay. Your entanglements, and now the better for it is less entanglements and better physical and mental emotional health. The less aggravation and stress you put yourself through, the better your body would be and the better you would be. A lot of people agitate themselves and aggravate themselves because of what somebody else did that they didn't particularly care for or like, could care less. Moving on. Hope you got the lesson. Oh, I'll be back with more. We just get started. But in closing, right thinkers, may y'all let it be 100 and me 100 minus today. So I never know that right thinker like you have passed away.